TV. And so we play our outro at that point as well. So just remember to be quiet or mute yourself. Try and keep, everybody looks pretty good. Maz, try and move your head a little bit more to the top of the screen if you can.
Too far.
If that works. Just so the pictures at the bottom don't cut you off. Otherwise, everybody else looks good.
Hey, Jeremy, how do you pronounce your last name?
Hamann.
Awesome. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Who's at the new hotel tonight? Oh, he muted himself.
Is that? I was already learning the mute.
All right, we got about
yeah, that's all me, man. I'm at the new
10
hotel.
seconds.
10 seconds. Okay. If you get knocked off by any chance, internet knocks you off, just log back onto the same site you used. We'll be good.
All right, we're on. Here we go in about 5 seconds. So everybody hush up. Can you see my screen?
It's black, so I see
Good.
if that's, yeah.
All right, here we go for 4, 3, 2, 1.
From tornadoes to hurricanes, blizzards, and everything in between, you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Stormfront Freaks are former television meteorologist Mark Massaro, collegiate senior in atmospheric science Brady Harris, digital meteorologist and weather producer for The Lift on the Weather Channel app Dina Knightley, freelance on-camera meteorologist and former Weather Channel meteorologist Kim Cunningham, and I'm your announcer and Skywarn Network radio operator Mark Johnson. Now, here's the moderator of the Stormfront Freaks podcast, amateur storm spotter Bill Johnson.
Welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is Stormfront Freaks podcast and Stormfront Freaks Raw for those of you that are watching our recording on YouTube and Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. Hey, we're always looking for feedback from you, so please drop us a review or an email or a social media message. You can find us at stormfrontfreaks.com. So this is episode 31, and for the first time, we actually have 3 guests joining us tonight. We have the storm chasing trio, the tornado trackers. We got Jeff, Jeremy, and Gabe with us this evening, and we'll also be spending some time with them discussing the future of storm chasing and where we all kind of see that heading. And of course, our Weather Fools, WX resources, and winner of our weatherproshop.com drawing, and of course, much more. So those of you that found us and watching us live tonight, thanks for finding us. Apparently, it was me that kind of messed up that whole link scenario, but everybody got on. We're good. I think everybody's happy, and we are on a skeleton crew tonight. So I mentioned we have 3 guests, which is a first. And we actually only have 3 co-hosts, which might also be a first. I don't remember. Yeah. It could be. So it was definitely skeleton crew, but we got enough guests to make up the difference. But let's go ahead and introduce everyone, as we always do, find out what everybody's drinking for a happy hour. And if you're listening or watching, as long as you're not driving a car or working heavy machinery, I hope you join us. MJ up in Minnesota, our Skywarn radio coordinator. Fill us in on what you've got this evening.
I've got got one of my faves, back to the Grain Belt Northeast, brewed right here in Minnesota.
So that's really a favorite of yours? It's not just something you've had laying around for 6 months?
No, I actually do. I actually have bought it several times.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, and I'm drinking, because it is summer and it's hot, but I did my manly activity the evening because last week we had a storm come through here, and we had a tree. Our backyard goes up to some woods. We had a tree fall down in our backyard, and it's been sitting there for almost a week because every morning I wake up thinking the garden gnome we have out front will go cut it up and take care of it. And he hasn't done it yet, so I actually had to go out with a chainsaw today and rip that up. And so I'm drinking my Liney Summer Shandy this evening.
Sweet.
Cooling off after my manly work. And then Maz is back. We've missed you for like a month, I think, dude.
Yeah, I was in Tibet.
No. Of course.
I had to go all the way to Tibet to get a Liney's canoe paddler.
Ooh,
There you go.
If you travel by canoe, it takes you a while to get back.
Another line. Now, I don't think I've heard of the canoe paddler before.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I got it from the sampler, and I got to say I like almost all of them except the cherry one, which to me personally tastes like Vicks. And I'm like, yeah, that reminds me when I was sick. I'm not drinking that again. So
Yeah, it reminded me when I was 6 and I got kind of a little tipsy on that stuff.
on Liney?
Yeah, no, on Vicks. No,
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. And we'll do a little informal introduction because I know our guests, I filled them in on happy hour, so I hope they're joining us in some regards. Jeff, we'll start with you. Where are you this evening and what are you drinking?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas, Texas. So I'm on a little family vacation. And so I'm
Yes.
holed up in this hotel and kicked the family out. They're doing well. Got a little Cabernet wine tonight. Try to
Nice.
settle some of my anxiety from being at a water park all day. So doing well.
Oh, yeah.
You're running on empty. We'll have
No
to
question.
get everything out of you we can get here in the next 10 minutes, I guess. Jeremy, where are you at and what are you drinking?
Yeah, I am in Denver, Colorado right now, and I'm drinking Colorado's finest banquet beer, Coors. Golden,
Nice.
Colorado, yeah.
There it is.
Banquet beer. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Because we're having a banquet right now. It's really fancy.
That's right.
We get fancy
That's
on this show. Very good. Gabe, where are you at and what are you drinking?
I am in a little town called Melrose, Florida, just outside of Gainesville. And I am drinking one of Ireland's finest exports,
Ooh.
Jameson.
There
Whoa.
you go. Buy the bottle.
Are you
Going all in.
are
On
you
the
drinking
rocks?
it out of the bottle?
Straight out of the bottle.
You got at least a nipple on it or something, or what?
Boy.
Hey, I was listening to Jim Cantori's show, and he said he had a gluten
Oh, yeah.
intolerance
Yeah.
and couldn't drink beer. Jim, if you're listening, this is the workaround. The distilling process kills the gluten.
Oh. See,
And right-
as,
Right
as I
before you go on
mentioned
the air,
with
too.
him,
What's
as
that?
I mentioned with you, healthy drinking choices, and we're more than game to do that. And I think one of these shows, guys, we got to do some kind of a Stormfront Freaks. We got to have a mixologist or two, I think, on the show to develop some special drinks for us and our guests. We'll name them after all the guests. We'll have like one drink will be called the Tornado Tracker.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll have to do something like that. But all right, well let's see. I knew you guys would like it. Maz, I'm going to turn it over to you to give our gentleman a nice, good, formal introduction.
Awesome. Thank you, Philippe. Hey, we're going to talk about tornado trackers, storm chasers. These guys are the real deal here. Tornado Trackers was founded back in May of 2013 when three friends, you guys are friends, aren't you?
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, you're all muted. You can unmute to say yes,
No comment. Yeah.
It's like bobbleheads there. What the heck? Anyway,
Yeah.
so Jeff Mangum, Jeremy Hamann, and Gabe Cox, they created a joint Twitter account to keep friends and family updated on chases, which is really cool, by the way. Since then, all three have worked together to maintain Tornado Trackers, both in the field and through social media, with the simple goal of sharing their enthusiasm for all things weather. Now, at the heart of what they do lies a complete fascination with storms and a genuine excitement to be part of the larger community of weather fanatics worldwide, and there are a number of us, by the way. Their footage has been broadcast on many networks, including ABC, NBC, CBS, the Weather Channel, CNN, National Geographic. That's awesome, you guys. And they were recently identified by Wired Magazine as one of the top storm chasers to follow on Twitter. So first of all, hey, that's awesome. Congratulations,
It is.
guys.
Thank you.
We're giving you
Thank you.
it sounds like one guy clapping. Yeah. So, hey, so that's not your full-time job. What's your grown-up jobs, guys? We'll start with Jeff.
All right. My full-time job is I'm actually a pastor in Austin, Texas. So, yeah, I do a lot of teaching on Sundays, but I get to create my own schedule by and large. So frees me up a little bit to do my lifelong hobby and passion.
Wait, and what were you drinking again?
Little wine.
there you go. That explains it. Awesome.
Well, yeah, as long as the tornadoes stay away till after 12, you're okay, right? On Sundays.
I'm solid gold, baby. Solid gold.
All right, Jeremy, how about you?
Yeah, I'm a mental health counselor up just north of Denver. Just actually moving there with my wife. We've been spending a few months on the road, just enjoying camping and hiking this summer up in the Colorado region, but we'll be settling in August where I will be joining a group practice.
Very cool. So what's the tent you have? What are you staying in?
Yeah, we have a 2-person tent. It's pretty cozy in there. It's one from REI, and it's worked out pretty well. We've had a little bit of rain on it, but by and large, it's a cozy little 2-person tent.
How many years have you been married?
Just about 3.
Okay, that's still the 2-person tent works great then. Just saying.
It works great. Yeah, how'd you get that $800 price approval taken care of from her? Did you have to fight for that, or?
Yeah, no, she likes it too. She likes it.
Okay.
It works out.
Awesome.
But yeah,
All
there's
right.
some storm chasing equipment I got to get approved too. So.
Let's get to Gabe because he's feeling left out. I could tell. How about you, Gabe?
Yeah, come on, guys. I am a freelance filmmaker. So I do anything from documentaries to music videos, corporate videos. And like Jeff, I get to set my own schedule. But I can chase on Sunday morning if I want.
So are you the video maestro?
Yes, I am video maestro by default.
Awesome.
So they
love
send everything to you? Is that you're kind of stuck with that?
That's kind of the workflow. Yeah.
Right. Hey, what works, man? It's a team effort. I get it.
That's right.
I definitely get it. So you guys, I assume you all met because at one point you were in the same state together or something. Is that correct? How'd that all happen? How'd you meet?
We were all in Austin when we formed the group. So my wife and I moved to Jacksonville shortly after we formed the group, actually, which was tragic. But we're moving back to Austin now. Going to reunite with the team.
Okay. Oh, so you are moving back, huh?
Yeah.
We're moving back.
Cool.
I got to be closer to the tornadoes.
So here's what I want to know. So you started all together, but then since then you've all branched out. You've kind of stayed together as a team, which is cool. What I want to know, and each of you can answer this individually, what's unique about where you live now, or maybe where you did live, since you moved to Colorado, but what's unique from a chasing standpoint about your home turf now?
Yeah, I can start there. Colorado, just the high plains in general. I think we have some of the most beautiful, picturesque tornadoes up around this region. Wyoming, Panhandle of Nebraska, out there in eastern Colorado. So we're excited to have a team member out here, and of course, who doesn't like traveling to Colorado? So me and my wife are excited to have Gabe and Jeff out here. So we're excited to have a Denver office, if you will.
Yeah, it's fun to drive there unless you're coming from Cincinnati by car. Then it's not so much fun.
Yeah.
I was just in Nebraska by car too, and I can tell you that is a long drive. Let me tell you.
Sounds brutal.
Jeff, how about you?
Yeah, with Austin, you're kind of at this central point of a lot of different action. You got Houston, which just floods 3 or 4 times out of the year. So that's about 3 hours away. You got hour and a half from San Antonio, just south of us, which is known for ridiculous hail. Shoot up north to Dallas and then to Oklahoma for some tornado action. And then 3 hours away is Abilene, then towards West Texas, and then the Panhandle for some Panhandle plains. And so it's not very active in Austin, but I'm always on the move for 2 or 3 hours of driving, it seems.
Yeah, you chase Texas. It's like chasing 4 states.
You are not kidding. It is ridiculous. But there's always something happening within those 4 states.
True. Usually true. No, I just saw a tweet today that right now to this point, Georgia still has the most tornadoes so far for 2017.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I think Texas was too, but yeah, Georgia was beating Texas.
Yeah. Wow. There was a big January through March.
Yeah, they had a big start.
Yeah.
They had a big start. Gabe, how about you? What's unique about Florida from a chasing standpoint?
I get to curse at trees and swamps a lot.
Yeah,
and terrible road networks. I'm just kind of dangling off the continental U.S., hoping for a hurricane out here, but we've been in that darn hurricane drought. I'm darn for chasers. It's been great for everyone else, but I moved to Florida originally 11 years ago, which was when the drought started. And they got Hermine last year, which I was able to chase. And Matthew, I followed it up the Florida East Coast. That never made direct landfall in Florida, but it beat up the coast pretty bad.
So are you giving that up now that you're moving to Austin and just going to chase on the Texas side, or from a tropical storm standpoint?
Not giving it up.
Okay.
What's easy? It's easier with hurricanes because you can plan ahead for those.
Yeah.
So I'll have the opportunity to fly out when I need to, crash with friends out here.
Are you letting the rest of Florida know you're leaving, because now the hurricanes are going to come back?
Yeah,
Right?
true.
Exactly. Yeah, everyone's
You're like the
that.
opposite of Cantori.
I sealed my fate this year. I planned a family vacation in Maine to visit my parents for the entire month of September, which is peak hurricane season. So just be forewarned, everyone in Florida, September is going to be out of control.
It's going to be a Maine hurricane.
Give us, guys, give us a little, because I think we'd be remiss not to ask you guys about your group, Tornado Trackers. And, Maz mentioned you guys founded that in May 2013. But what's gotten you from that point to, being listed by Wired Magazine as one of the top storm chasers to follow on Twitter?
Happy
What's gotten you to
accidents.
that point?
Well,
can't be that simple.
There is absolutely no reason that we should be on Wired Magazine's top 6. We know dozens of other accounts that are far beyond ours. This is my theory. We try to figure this out internally every day. I think because we got forced to choose Tornado Trackers because it was the only thing left on Twitter. That's how the name came about. That put us on the top of the search list. People are looking for tornadoes.
Hey, whatever
Tornado
works.
Trackers is going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Happy accident.
Whatever works.
We have made zero effort to try to do anything else.
You just gave that idea away, and everybody's like, "Yeah, let's start."
Yeah, tornado everything.
How'd you go from first place to last place in 1 year?
Hey, we switched our name to bathtub trackers or something like that.
When Michael Binsky, he said, I watched his episode, and when he said after those 6 were revealed on Instagram, he said, "Hey, I'm not saying that's the order that those 6 should be," and I just said, "Amen, brother." I could not agree more.
Yeah, I do think because I looked at it, I do think they put numbers in the front of it, but obviously it's an opinion piece. But I do think that's definitely a great honor. So I'm going to ask, how often do you guys now chase together anymore? Does that happen much?
We've managed to pull it off every spring. I have an incredible wife who forces me to go out every May and chase for these guys. So we've held the team together that way, and then we help track storms from home when we can't go out, and help load up content. So we keep the team together even when we're not out together.
Yep.
If you could pick one state you could never leave that state for tracking ever again, what would be the choice that you'd want to track in?
Wow, good question.
Oklahoma.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm still trying to convince my wife to move there.
I'm trying to convince your wife to move there.
Wait, do your wives all get along? Or are they like, "Oh no, here they come"?
They get along very, very well. I think the thing that probably drives a lot of our chasing is the fact that if chasing didn't exist, we're as close of friends as there is. And so I know that sounds maybe even a little bit cheesy, but we really do. We text nonstop all day about anything under the sun. And so when we get to chase together, it's just kind of a expression of the things that we love to do. We get to do that together, but man, we're always connected.
So when you guys are gone for like a week or something, do you come back as the Visa bill like 5,000 or something from shopping?
Definitely have to budget it in. Yeah.
Darn storms.
Yeah, and it's such a good hobby to have. I mean, such a good hobby to have, as anyone knows who's, I'm preaching to the choir here on this show, but the weather is just constantly dynamic. So it's constantly something that you can pay attention to. And weather Twitter is always an exciting, interesting place. And so, yeah, it's a pretty awesome hobby to have. And as 3 friends, it's like the question, why does the group work? It's like the question, how do friendships work? There's kind of a mysterious element that is always there, and that's what kind of bonds our team together first and foremost. And so that's kind of the energy that always drives us. And so it's hard to put a finger on it, but we just really like each other against all odds.
So were you high school buddies? I mean, where'd you guys meet? How did it happen?
It's probably a bar,
Church.
right? A church bar? I'm going.
A church bar.
Sorry, I apologize.
You don't need to apologize at all. So, now we met at church, which is crazy. I think Gabe and I were on staff at the time, and Jeremy, I think you were on staff at the time. And so I remember one day we found out our infatuation with storms. Like a nuclear bomb went off in that office. The three of us got together and sent everyone else to their offices, and we started whiteboarding our first chase together for about 2 hours. Pretty ridiculous what we did, but it was so much fun, and it was more than anything. It was just good to meet some other guys that we were always in proximity with, that had the same passion, because infatuation with weather and storm chasing is kind of a unique bird, and so it was good. It was kind of like a release for all of us,
So when you guys chase, is there like one designated vehicle, or like, hey, let's take Gabe's car this time?
I think Jeff's by default has all the hail dents.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Yes.
as often as we can, we
Yes.
take the beat-up car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's the setup look like inside of it? What do you guys got going on in there?
It's pretty non-impressive.
Listen, I chased in about a month ago or a few weeks ago in Wyoming and Colorado and Nebraska with a buddy in Dallas, and his car was so perfectly set up. And he said, "Is your car like this?" I was like, "Man, it's nothing like this. It's a trash dump." And so I am jealous of cars that have some proactive thinking to it.
So
What
what
about
about
the rest of you guys?
Our
What do you
equipment is
guys?
our iPhone.
Yeah, is that same thing for Gabe and Jeremy? Same kind of set? Do you guys have a setup at all in your cars when you're chasing yourselves?
just an extra cup holder or what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
would say-
I have an iPhone mount and an iPhone, and that's essentially it. And then I have a DSLR that I use for filming and taking photos. But that's pretty much it, and it's simplified to a fault, and we can get into that later. Talking about
Do you mount?
a
Do
certain
you mount
occasion
your?
in Canton.
Do you mount any cameras, or you're using your DSLR just when you get out of the car?
Yeah, we have camera mounts.
Okay.
But I mean, it's really that simple. It's a camera mount, a camera, and our phones to track storms.
I got to
Yeah.
tell you, you guys got the coolest videos though, because I was on your sites and I'm like, for an iPhone camera, is that what you said?
No,
Oh,
you
good.
guys aren't
Oh,
taking
we
that
have-
stuff with an iPhone, are
We
you?
have a
I'm like-
plethora of cameras.
Yeah, I'm like, that'd be like the iPhone 100 or something that's not out yet.
Yeah, surprisingly, one of our most popular videos I shot with a iPhone 6s. The 4K camera on it is pretty impressive. Yeah, so I shoot also with a Sony a6000. It's just a great entry-level mirrorless camera. Yeah, like these guys were saying, it's pretty bare bones. We ride pretty bare bones, but the iPhone is really kind of the heavyweight, man. You do everything on it. You track, you tweet, you take quick pics and things like that. So it's an impressive device.
You're not just trying to get a free iPhone now for saying?
Oh,
We won't say no to that.
That's
How are you
Sponsor,
listening?
sponsorship. Yeah.
You hold it up, and here it is.
right.
All right. So if your car setup is pretty basic, which nowadays you kind of can be, but what are you guys doing in the morning when you're kind of looking at setting up your target? What kind of sources are you guys using? What do you like to look at to identify where you're going for the day?
Yeah, we look to Gabe. We asked Gabe. he's the brains of the operation for sure.
And he's
So
kind
Gabe,
of
if you want to field that.
perfect timing.
We use a few different sites. I think the main one is Pivotal. I don't know if you guys have used that at all, but we get 2 days before we're looking at the NAM. The day of, we're utilizing all the short range, high resolution models. Probably no different than what everyone else is doing. Surface observations, visible satellite. Once things start going off, we're looking for boundaries, and then radar scope. That's the Mac Daddy. We use that one nonstop.
Once things have initiated and all that. That's
right. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. So what is there a particular, is it NAM? Is that the model you tend to focus on day of, or what are you looking at there?
Day before, we're using the NAM. Well, and day of, just to bounce the other forecast models off of. But it's a combination of things. We don't have one model that we base everything off of. We're flipping through them all and seeing where things line up, looking for consistencies.
And you know, who knew Vietnam had the best model out there, right?
Good for them. Yeah.
You know, that's funny because, you know, when we started this podcast, the goal is always to make sure that we're not using crappy scientific term jargon and stuff like that. And now we're throwing NAM and stuff like that. So we should probably clarify. So Pivotal. So what is it? Pivotal.com. How do you spell that? Because I'm not familiar with it.
Pivotalweather.com.
Yeah, pivotalweather.com.
Okay. And it's got how many of them? It's got all the models on it?
It has a lot of them.
Okay.
So you have the HRRR, the HRRR, the NAM, and then it
GFS.
has the NSSL models, the RAP, GFS, Euro.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from the old days when it was like nested grid model, moss.
They have no clue what you're talking about. Man.
Finger in the air with spit on it. Where is that?
They grew up with an iPhone in their hand.
That's like VHS.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beta VHS.
So entitled. So entitled.
All right, so guys, so tell us, here's what I think a lot of our listeners would want to know. None of you guys have, this is what I love, none of you guys have an atmospheric science or meteorology background or a degree, right?
Correct.
But obviously
Right.
You're chasing, you're finding the storms, you're getting great footage. So there's really two things that you've picked up, and that's number one, how to interpret weather and weather models and find that. Number two, obviously you've picked up some skills in photography. If nothing else, let's first start with your weather skills. How have you gone about learning that? So if you're telling someone brand new, they want to learn more about that, give them some tips on what you guys did.
Yeah.
What's bifurcating? Come on, let me hear some meteorology.
I mean, I would fall asleep with the Audubon Society Weather Field Guide booklet in my hand when I was a kid. And then as soon as I found out that the National Weather Service offered free storm spotter classes, I was in. Every year I'd go. So that was the base, starting when I think I was a teenager the first time I went, 12 or 13 or 14. That's where it started for me. And then just diving in, reading articles. Like you said, we grew up with the internet and everything, all the information on hand. We could just type it in the computer, whatever we want to know, and it would pop up. And then for chasing technique, that was more of a trial and error thing. You can watch all the storm chasing videos you want, but when you get out there, it's completely different being in the field. But yeah, just doing research on our own and started with those storm spotter classes.
Yeah, we definitely value just being learners and not kind of settling ever. Obviously how the field is kind of accelerated with the age of the internet and kind of open access and things like that. There's a new model, a new website, a new analysis tool coming out every 6 months or whatever. And so just staying students, obviously. So I grew up in Nebraska, and as a little kid, just seeing storms roll through spring and fall, and falling in love with storm structure and all of that, watching local meteorologists and kind of gleaning information from them. So it's just been an acquisition over years and years and decades, and then finally meeting these guys, and they definitely let me in on go to this Skywarn class, and here's some online tools, and let's dive in. So definitely take baby steps. It takes years and years, so it requires quite a bit of passion and kind of that X factor, because it's definitely not. And we still feel like there's such bigger fish always. There's always dudes we look up to and ladies we look up to, and So we try to kind of keep a humble attitude about it.
Okay, go back to Nebraska. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Lincoln, so I'm a Cornhusker.
Shut up!
Yeah.
I knew we were kindred spirits, man.
You grew up there?
Yeah, I went to school there. I actually was on the air there too.
Oh, right on.
10, 11, yeah.
Oh, 10, 11, absolutely, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I graduated in 2010 actually. So then moved down to Austin. So not too far.
What do you
Matt is like, dude, I was way gone by then.
1980.
Jeff, how about you? I don't want to miss you too. What about you? What are some tips for learning about weather? And
well, I think for me, I learned by, as I feel like most of my life, by trial and error. And so for me, it was my first chase actually started May 27th, 1997. So that was Gerald, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to college about 20 minutes north of there. So I chased before I knew what the crap I was doing, which I do not suggest. I want to go on record. I do not suggest. But it was a pretty predictable day once the storm system started going. After that, Skywarn, anything that the National Weather Service was putting on, I was there. So my desire was to go to Oklahoma and get a meteorology degree. Ended up not doing that. Stayed in Central Texas. So it's been classes, it's been online trainings, and to be honest, I think that's what makes it so beneficial to be a part of a team. If you take the three of us, I think we all add some kind of unique aspects to it. These two guys are just significantly more smart and brilliant than me. I just like to dive right into a tornado if I can. And so they tell me, you shouldn't do that. You should do that. Go here. So I think there's a little bit of, it's not only training and, going to college or universities, but there's also a bit of a team dynamic that actually helps one another figure that out along the way.
But
Cool.
Plus if somebody makes a bad decision, there's still two of you left. So
Like 2/3 is still good.
that's right. The tornado tracker name can still live on. All right. Well, we're going to jump to our lightning round on that note. So lightning rounds are fun round of questions. Used to be quick questions. Now we've kind of changed it up a little bit. We are doing something brand new we've never done before. I think we've covered almost every game show on our show, but we've never done the newlywed game. And I thought, because we have three guys from a team that have been working together for all these years, I thought, what a perfect opportunity to pull in the newlywed game.
That makes sense.
Nice.
So on that note,
how do you do this with all guys?
It's Stormfront Freak style. We do all these games. We got to adjust things a little bit. And so here's what we're going to do. I have actually previously sent out questions to these guys. And we're going to go through, and there's 2 rounds here we're going to go through. We're going to start with the first round. And Jeremy, I'm going to start with you. Mm-hmm. Okay? And here was the question that we posed. What animal best describes you when chasing a storm? Jeremy, what did you say best describes you? What kind of animal?
I said a basset hound because I'm a little sleepy and I'm a little, maybe on a chase, a little cranky that I'm not in my bed after a few hours.
Okay. So basset hound. So Gabe, what animal would you describe Jeremy when he's chasing a storm? What did you say?
Bear with me, Jeremy.
Oh,
I
man.
said,
Oh man.
I said a homesick platypus. And here is why. A platypus is 3 animals in one. Jeremy is multifaceted. He can do it all. I would trust him with all of our cameras, all of our forecasting, all of our driving. And I say homesick because he hates chasing alone. Jeff and I have seen that when we've been forecasting for him and he goes out by himself. He admits it's not as fun, and it is. It's brutal to chase alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love that. I love that he likes
All
the
right, so
brotherhood.
platypus and basset hound. I'm not going to call that a match. But I'm going to go to Jeff. Jeff, what animal did you describe Jeremy when he's chasing a storm?
Not a match. I said owl. And so, listen, I spent a lot of time on Google trying to figure this out. So,
Too much time.
Not too much time, maybe an hour and a half, maybe two.
That's a lot of time.
That's too much time. My wife said, "Why are you on your phone in bed?" I'm like, "I'm trying to figure this thing out." So an owl, because Jeremy is absolutely wise. He's got that old soul, and so we always trust that, and he's always listening before talking. And so I think probably one of the best things about him is that he's quick to listen, even on chases. I can talk 100 miles an hour nonstop. He just listens. He's good. He's good for me that way.
That's good. Yeah. Well, we're not going to call that a match either. You know, I didn't get overly risque with these questions, but the fact is, my guess is you guys have had to spend some nights in hotel rooms together.
For sure. Yeah.
I probably could have gotten a little risque with some of these questions, but I didn't. Okay, Gabe. I'm going to Gabe. Gabe, what did you say? What animal best describes you when chasing a storm?
A donkey. Specifically Eeyore. I can be pretty monotone. I think I'm the pessimist of the group. I'm going to go ahead and claim that.
Fair.
There's never a good forecast in the morning. I always have my doubts. So yeah, I said donkey.
All right, donkey.
Not a flying, talking donkey?
Yeah, Jeff, what animal would you use to describe Gabe? What'd you say?
Oh, I called him a fox because, and maybe now that I hear that, Gabe, I'm like, I should have got
that.
He's the most clever and smart when it comes to models and kind of understanding certain observations. And so we divert to him every time, but he has a way of, even in real time when we're chasing, he's got a way of not only reading radar, but having a bit of a sense of where we need to go, what's next. So he's a fox.
All right, not a match. Sorry.
No
points there. So we got no points here yet, guys. Jeremy, what animal describes Gabe?
I said a parrot.
That's not a match either.
That's not a match.
You want him on your shoulder, and on a pirate ship, he's the real captain at the end of the day. And when we get chasing, he gets chatty too. So he lets us know where we need to go.
That's true.
All right, we're moving on. We have 0 points given out so far. All right, Jeff. Jeff, what animal best describes you when chasing a storm? What'd you say?
Awful. I'm a squirrel. A squirrel is, all you do is you need to do that, and that squirrel turn around and go toward it. So if there is any cumulus cloud, I'm on it. All you need is a new one, a new one, a new one. I go pure ADD when it goes to chasing, and I'm all in.
We got a squirrel in the car. Jeremy, what did you say describes Jeff?
I said a spider monkey because if they're up, tripods are his tree, and he just has a million of them, and he's got all the cameras and arms everywhere jumping around.
Okay, not quite a match. Close, not quite. Gabe, what animal did you say describes Jeff?
I said a rabid squirrel.
Yeah, we got a match.
I had to add another level to it because Jeff, you are next level energy when storms are around.
Thank you.
All right.
Do you drink coffee too, or what?
Not really. Yeah, I do, but that's not what gets me going.
All right, so I'm giving Jeff and Gabe 100 points. We're going on to the next one. Jeremy, I asked the question, what irritates your partners the most about your chasing behavior?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Yeah, so I said I'm the quiet one, and maybe I'm a little too relaxed.
Okay, quiet and relaxed. All right, Gabe, what irritates? What part of Jeremy irritates, I guess, you and his chasing behavior?
I said delayed warnings about driving off quickly while I'm hanging out in the vehicle.
No problem.
Which
Fine.
a couple of times almost ended tragically.
So we have communication issues. That's kind of what that would be considered as communication challenge. Jeff, what irritated you about Jeremy's chasing behavior?
Well, I think we would all agree to some degree that the last few years since being married and then going through his master's program, he couldn't just jump up and chase with us any time. So obviously that's respectable. And but I knew
stop trying to make it nice.
I knew he was frustrated. but he couldn't go more often than not when he wanted to. So.
All right, too selective. All right, so no matches there. All right, Gabe, we're going to go to you. What do you think irritates your partners about your chasing behavior?
Breaks is what I said.
Gosh, that's true, man.
God, I hate that. I do hate that. I mean, I hate it when I'm traveling just with my wife and kids across country and we got to stop to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm like the kid of the group.
Yeah, wait till you're
man.
50 years old, all right? I'm just saying.
Get some bladder extension surgery or something. There's got to be something like that, right? All right, Jeff, so what was it? What did you say about Gabe's chasing
I'm way
behavior?
too nice on this. I want to redo this thing, man. My man Gabe is a perfectionist, and so I'm thinking through that high risk about 2 months ago, and early May, mid-May. And for him, if he doesn't have the exact setup he wants, or if there's too many good setups, he doesn't know exactly what he wants to do. And if it doesn't pan out, he is very angry, very frustrated. So
Eeyore.
Yeah.
Back to Donkey.
Back to Eeyore. I get points for that. I get points for that.
Okay, I'll give you 50 points.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give, so Jeremy and Gabe, you guys got 50 points. All right, and then we're going to go to no, Jeff and Gabe. Sorry. Jeremy, let's go with you. What did you say about Gabe irritates you?
Yeah, as he's the film guy, he's the director, and so he his camera has priority, so we need to get in the right position and turn at the right time. And so, hey, I can't fault him for that, but he's the director.
Don't move.
And don't drive it. I'm getting my shot out the window.
All right. Okay. We're moving on. Let's go. All right, Jeff, it's your turn. No matches there. So what do we give? Jeff and Gabe, you guys got 150 points.
Yeah.
That's stretching a little bit, but we'll give it to you. All right, Jeff, what do you think irritates your partners about your chasing?
Mine should be obvious, guys. The fact that I am trying to handle 15 different video and photography gadgets at one time, and I suck at 14 of them at that same time, that's got to be it. I cannot handle all that gear at one time, and I try.
You try. Hey, good effort, man. A for effort. You brought your A game, as Tiger Woods would say. Jeremy, what did you say? Jeff irritates you.
Specifically, I said the bushel of tripods that he brings every day.
Oh, there we go. Equipment guy.
And he thinks he's going to use them, but he doesn't even use one.
Nope, I don't.
Hey, you got to come prepared, man.
Thank you.
Man, don't start a breakup with these guys.
All right, so 100 points to Jeff and Jeremy and Gabe. I'll finish it with you. What did you say irritates you? Jeff irritates you guys.
I said man versus technology.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good too.
There you go. There you go.
Very good. I'll give you 100 points. 100 points for that. Okay, so we finished Jeff and Gabe. You guys got 250 points. Jeff and Jeremy with 100.
There you go.
I don't know what that means. We make half this crap up anyways. But hey, appreciate you guys having some fun with us.
Yeah.
Where can people follow you guys? Give us a little social media and website info. Who's in charge of the website? That person can speak up.
Go for it, Gabe.
Tornadotrackers.org is our website. Our biggest attraction is our Twitter account, again by accident. That's at Tornado Trackers on Twitter, and then Tornado Trackers on Instagram. Now that we have accidentally been nominated, we're keeping up with it. You can follow us on there.
You better, man. Very good. All right, so weatherproshop.com. Hey, they're the only source for high-quality Skywarn weather spotter merchandise and reference tools. They have embroidered T-shirts, which are sweet. We're actually going to be giving one of these away here tonight. I'm holding up one now. Pro Performance T-shirt, great Skywarn embroidery on it. They got polos, caps for men and women, by the way.
Cool.
They have report logs, IDs, and great laminated reference guides for spotters and chasers, including their new dual pole radar training pack. That's also being given away tonight as well. All kinds of great, these are all laminated radar training tools, outstanding resource. And new customers setting up an account will receive 5% off their order. And for a limited time, Stormfront Freaks listeners will get an additional 5% off at checkout when they enter the code. I always say that. They enter the code STORM, STORM. Enter that code, you get 5%, plus if you're new, another 5%, and that makes, math majors?
More.
Yes, more percent discount. Exactly. So lots of reasons why you should visit and support our partner, weatherproshop.com.
And guys, they make great anniversary presents. Make sure you get one for your wife this time.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Our podcast listeners will hear the latest edition of the Titans U Minute with Chris Sanner. And stay right here because we're going to be back with the Tornado Trackers to discuss the good and the ugly future of storm chasing. All right, break.
All right, very good.
Very good, gentlemen. So far, so good. You guys are awesome.
Good.
That's fun.
It's been
That was a
fun.
good time, man.
You did good on that newlywed thing. That was. We're going to have to pull that out again sometime.
Gabe, what kind of platypus?
Homesick.
That is.
Homesick.
He wants
Yeah.
to be with his boys.
I've never met one of those kinds of platypuses.
Oh, they're very prevalent. Very prevalent.
Yeah, I was borderline obscene with that comment I just made. Okay. All right, hey, gentlemen, I need you guys to do me a favor. If you'll do a quick spot for us. If you can do it, you can say, Jeff, I want you to say, this is Jeff. Jeremy, you come in with, this is Jeremy. Gabe, you come in, this is Gabe. All right, so it's, this is Jeff, this is Jeremy, and this is Gabe. And then Gabe, after you say your name, say, we're the Tornado Trackers. And
You're
you want to say it all together?
That could be crazy.
Let's try it.
let's
What the
do
hell?
it.
Dude,
I like crazy.
you got to be risky sometimes, right? So you're going to go, this is Jeff, this is Jeremy, and this is Gabe. And then you guys say, we're the Tornado Trackers, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
So we're going to say all that together.
Yeah. Does that work?
Attempted, yeah.
Let's go for it.
Let's practice. We'll practice first, and then we'll do it. It doesn't matter anyways. We just do it, and we take the one that sounds the best. That's how it works.
Perfect.
All right.
All
All right. So, Jeremy, we'll start with you. Or, I'm sorry, Jeff. Jeff, Jeremy,
Yeah.
Gabe.
All right.
Practice.
This is Jeff, and we're the Tornado Trackers, and you're listening live.
No, stop.
Oh, Jeff,
All right.
Jeremy, and Gabe. Sometimes.
Yes.
No. You just say, this is Jeff.
Oh,
And
that's
then,
all I got
and
to
then
say.
you're quiet, and Jeremy says, and this is Jeremy, and then he's
Okay.
quiet, and then Gabe jumps in and says, and this is Gabe,
That is
and then you all say, and we're the Tornado Trackers, and you're listening to Stormfront Freaks podcast.
so easy. I got this thing.
All right, we'll do it. You guys rock.
All right. All right. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Go.
This is Jeff.
This is Jeremy,
This is Gabe.
and
We're the Tornado Trackers, and you're listening to Stormfront Freaks.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
In one take.
Yeah.
Good
Like,
job.
I actually don't want to listen to the podcast because of what you just did.
That's good. Use that.
Yeah, we'll
boy,
probably
God.
use that one because it sounds so
Good one.
perfect for our show. All right. We'll
So
we'll
maybe one of them
practice again.
says, we're the Tornado Trackers, and the other one says, and you're listening to Stormfront
No,
Freaks.
let's
but-
try it again.
They don't do it.
I think we can make
Okay,
this work.
okay.
We'll make this work. Jeff, let's try it again. You start.
Here we
It's
go.
almost
1,
midnight.
2, 3. This is Jeff.
This is Jeremy.
This is Gabe. We're the Tornado Trackers, and you're listening to Stormfront
Listening to
Freaks podcast.
Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Okay, it might be a delay issue. I don't know. That
No,
might be an
we're
internet
just
issue.
horrible help. That's what
All
it
right.
is.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna change it up. So we're gonna say this is Jeff, this is Jeremy, this is Gabe, just like you did it. But then I'm gonna have Jeff. When Gabe's done, Jeff just say we're the Tornado Trackers, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, let's try that one.
In
Go ahead.
theory. Yeah.
All right. Let's go. This is Jeff.
This is Jeremy.
This is Gabe.
We're the Tornado Trackers, and you're listening live to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Okay, not
There
bad.
you
Now
go.
I'm gonna have you guys do it one more time, but you gotta have a little more energy.
Oh,
It's like-
yeah.
Sell it, baby.
This is Jeff, and this is Jeremy, and you're listening. It's like we're not an NPR show.
this is
We could be, but we're not. So give me a little more energy.
Turned us down.
Give me a little more energy.
All right.
Faster. George Lucas, right? He always said in Star Wars, faster and more intense, faster and more intense.
Love it. Let's do it.
That's what I need. Do it again.
Quick.
All right, here we go. This is Jeff.
This is Jeremy.
This is Gabe.
We're the Tornado Trackers. You're listening live to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Boo! Booyah!
Wow.
That's good.
Power.
Love it.
All right.
All right, we're doing that.
You
Is it
sure you don't,
midnight
want that, you don't want that hot mess that we started out with?
Well, no. Well, here's the
use
fun
that.
part. We got it recorded, so we can always pull that baby out. When you guys win your Emmys and Oscars and all that stuff with your footage, we'll pull that out.
That 3-part harmony, man.
That's your award show. That's right. Okay, so hey, we're gonna quick come out of break. I'll welcome it back, and then I'll set up this discussion about the future of storm chasing, and get into the good parts of what's coming. And so here's the things, just so you know, here's the things I listed out. We might get to all of them, we might not.
Okay.
But thinking about vehicles and equipment, what's the future as far as equipment setup and vehicles, all that kind of stuff. And you guys maybe talked about it. Maybe it's getting more simple because you can just do it all on one unit.
Yep.
Resources that you have to use, storm chasing, maybe for forecasting, video and photography, future use of the footage. What's the future of video footage? How can that benefit people and all that stuff? Safety and convergence. Benefit to the public, why does the public care about storm chasing in the future? And then money and storm chasing. So those are just some things maybe we can talk about. You guys can bring it up any way you want, but I'll set it up, and then it's open forum. You guys talk. Don't feel bad about jumping in when someone else is talking. You guys are used to that. You work together, so we're okay. All right, are we ready, MJ?
Yes, we are.
All right, let's just jump into it then. Get going.
All right, here you go in 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back. Hey, we thought this would be a great time with our guests here to get people's opinion on where the future of storm chasing is going, and not just talk about, hey, the good, cool stuff, but also talk about maybe the good, the bad, and the ugly of storm chasing, where it's come and where we kind of see that going. I mentioned to everybody here in the panel, we can talk about vehicles and equipment, resources, where video and photography is going, the footage, safety and convergence, benefit to the public, and money. I'm going to just kind of open it up, and definitely we want to hear, Jeremy, Jeff, Gabe, from you guys also, where you guys see it going, because you've been really highly involved in that.
Yeah,
Crickets are chirping.
so I think as smartphones, so the iPhone's only been around for 10 years, which is pretty crazy. And so we're only on the front edge of what handheld devices can do. Right now, it's kind of our one-stop shop by and large. And so I'm excited to see what the next 5 years holds for radar technology on devices, cameras, navigation, social media, and things like that. So 10 years ago, we couldn't even have dreamed of what a device like a smartphone could do. So I'm also really excited about drone technology. Obviously, I don't think that's been utilized even close to what its extent. Obviously, it's an expensive hobby still, and so there's some investment. But I'm excited. I know the military is at least developing some disposable drone technology, and so I think storm chasers in generally would need a little bit of insurance there to know that, and cost would need to come down on some drones. But we're barely touching the kind of the future of videography from up in the air, and also with sensors and research and things like that.
I really think drones, they're going to be able to be in a situation just because of the high winds. Mm-hmm. What's the extent that you think they'll be using drones for storm chasing? Definitely.
I think just in general, the consumer will use them for an interesting angle to shoot a storm at, something that nobody's seen before. Honestly, that's the thing we're chasing often, is a new angle as the best shot. And so, like I said, if the cost can come down, and a consumer could maybe lose a drone and not take a big hit to their bank account in a storm. But yeah, I'm not really sure right now. Yeah, if you get too close to a storm, $1,000 investment is
Right.
gonzo. So you need a little bit of a disposable drone, I think.
But I imagine when you talk about getting a different angle on it, we've talked about that on a couple shows in the past, that idea of when you get the trees in the way and the telephone poles in the way and the things like that. Well, this would get up there and get a shot without those things in the way. That'd be kind of cool.
100%.
Yeah. I think Jeremy, you're talking about the iPhone and how it's made everything so available and so cheap. I think that's a pro and a con for storm chasers. I've seen, especially a lot this year, I've seen a lot of networks relying heavily on bystander videos that they can get for free. People get excited about getting their name on the news, and the station can eat it up for free, and they don't need to pay out any licensing fees for storm chasing footage. So I'm interested to see how that evolves. I think that's going to force storm chasers' hand a little bit to kind of re-evolve. Because I'm a filmmaker, that's what I focus on. I chase storms because I want people to see what I'm able to see and kind of capture it in a hopefully refreshing light that people haven't experienced and kind of get them up close. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of angles. So if storm chasers can reinvent themselves to focus more on, instead of just sticking a camera to their windshield or hanging their video camera out the window, like really taking the time to make their footage stand apart, force the hand of the media to say, no one's displaying it this way, instead of bystander portrait video, which everyone hates or loves to hate. We love to hate portrait video.
So let me ask you that, Gabe, because obviously that brings money into the picture. Where have you guys seen from and I don't want to say profitable, because I think that's probably pretty limited for most. You guys are kind of running the right situation, which is, hey, I've got a full-time job doing something else, and chasing is kind of more my hobby. But obviously you guys got to be familiar with the money aspect of it. Where have you guys seen that grow and maybe start to decrease a little bit, because so many average people now have an iPhone in their hands that media can get footage that they want and they need for free, because they'll just credit someone, the good old, hey, do you mind if I use your footage with credit kind of a deal.
Right.
It starts pushing people that try to do this from a money standpoint, push them out. But where do you see that going?
Yeah, and I think it's like I was saying, I think that's going to be more prominent. More people are equipped with these phones, and now an iPhone can shoot in 4K. So you're getting really high quality. And like Jeremy said, we even have a video of ours that was shot on an iPhone in 4K. That's one of our most popular videos. It's an iPhone video. And so people can do that. Someone just walk out on their front porch and there's a tornado in their field, they can shoot it. They're not going to think twice about trying to get money for it. And they're not trying to compensate travel expenses and hotels and gear costs for going out and storm chasing. So they don't really care either way. It's going to be a matter of storm chasers, if they really want to sell their footage, make ends meet so that they can keep doing what they love to do. I think we're going to have to reinvent the way that we film and really start paying attention to how we do it and making it stand so much more above these bystander videos that it piques interest for media.
Do you think it'll weed out some of the chasers just because of that?
I think naturally it might. I know that filmmaking is not a priority for most storm chasers. I know that a lot of them don't have a filmmaking background. So for sure, I mean, you guys had Michael Bunsky on here, and his stuff is outstanding. In my opinion, he's top of the list, and he's catching cinematic footage that no one else is getting, and it's putting him on top. He had his footage in Thor, for goodness sake. So you don't see anyone else with their iPhone footage getting on Thor. Like Mike is setting up, he's taking into account his scene and setting it up and framing it and taking the time to bring it in afterwards and color it just the right way and bring it in the contrast just the right way. And it's working for him. And I think that's what more people are going to have to start doing.
If Mike is
So I think
listening,
the avenue.
Gabe, what's the favorite beer, like a case of beer you'd want Mike to send you?
You can just send me another one of these, Mike.
Yeah.
James. Ooh,
DM me for my address.
it's gonna cost you.
So I think the medium in which video is really important as well. And so Twitter is so easy access. It's way faster than the evening news, right? And so I think tailoring footage to that, and people on the internet want to see the next best thing. They want to, you get bored very easily as you're scrolling through your Twitter feed. And so just the eye-catching, the close, the interesting, the lightning strike, it will always be our goal. And I think we're going to, obviously, that's a foregone conclusion already. Internet news is becoming the king quickly. So how you monetize that is the question, as news stations have advertisers who give them money so that they can pay stringers and things like that. But I think feeding the internet generation, the generation that gets bored quickly with the new and interesting shot, will be the Chasers' kind of goal moving forward.
And I think this creates a little bit of a unique situation for the fact that for Chasers trying to make money, when you introduce money into the equation, it causes folks to choose a side. And here's what I mean by that. If money was not a part of the equation, then the fact that, the everyday Joe with their phone doing portrait videos, and getting those things, that's one of the things I think we value is for us as a team. I think it irks us or causes a little bit of hesitation for us when the weather community can sometimes come across as these storms belong to us. Everyone get out of the way. We're trying to get our shots. Weather is for everybody. So it's so liberating when you get to see people in towns and farmers on their tractors, for crying out loud, taking video of amazing tornadoes. That's part of what makes this such a great community. When you introduce money into the equation, then it starts to become, I think, a more layered conversation, and becomes a little bit more difficult for us to start having conversations about, because on one end, we want to see this as something that's not just storm chasing teams, but anyone who sees that storm. But when it comes to making any kind of money off of this, it's trying to think through, okay, what do we have to do to rate or to increase our ability to make some kind of money off our videos if so many videos look the same. And so I think we kind of find ourselves in a unique situation. And then of course you come into a situation like convergence, where as the iPhone is becoming such a prominent way to take video, means what used to be 50 people in certain highways is now becoming 300, 400, 500 people. So I think the fact that anyone can take these kind of videos is great. There's some very unique and sometimes difficult situations for us to walk through.
What about like the danger factor, not just convergence, but with more competition? Is it, you think it'll cause more chasers, whether they're more professional or less professional, to go for that extreme footage and put themselves in harm's way?
Yeah, I think so. And like Jeff was saying, when money comes into the equation, it kind of drives the passion in a slightly veered direction. We're out there because we love storms. I mean, I go out with pulse storms here in Florida every day just to stare at dark clouds. But yeah, it's easy to get caught up in like, oh, I gotta make money off of this. Like I gotta compensate with travel expenses. And I did that in May. I've had conversations with these guys, but it starts to get at you, and yeah, you start thinking illogically. If that becomes a little too much of a goal, yeah, people are going to take risks, and they're going to go farther and farther to get the most absurd shot possible. And you can see it happening. People have definitely done it. I mean, it's not necessarily the elephant in the room. I think everyone knows that it's happening. But then there are people doing it from a more thought out, safer vantage point. You know, people doing the 360 videos in a tornado probe, which would be an amazing vantage point. And nobody's really gotten it very well and a really clear shot. But that's something that I've seen a lot of people going after. We had talked about potentially doing that, but there's enough people out doing that now trying to catch that this is new technology, 360-degree video, and it's a new vantage point. We've had video of tornadoes going over probes, but we've never been able to sit and look at all of the angles as it's doing it. So that's one thing I think you'll see. If someone doesn't get it this coming tornado season, someone will get it the next, because there's I know of at least a few probes that are out there equipped with those video cameras. It's kind of a taste of how things are progressing.
And even if I think you take the 360 viewpoint of a tornado, it's not even that it's just a better view. I mean, you could probably, if you saw a 360-degree angle view of a tornado in a storm, if you watch that, and you could probably pick 10 other videos of that tornado that were better, but the uniqueness is kind of what sets it apart. And so it doesn't even have to be better. And I think so it's moving away from who can get just the best shot to a little bit more of an artistic, unique shot that kind of stands out. So I think that's one of the things that 360 and other angles probably provide for people who
and I think
looking at chase.
And I think that'll be the challenge for guys like you. I think for the chasers that really are professional chasers, meaning you've been paid for your footage in the past.
Yeah.
That's going to be what separates now, is because everyone's got an iPhone and they're going to be getting footage that outlets can get for free. You guys really got to up your ante. You really got to up the quality of your footage, the how you're editing post-production that footage or those photos, getting, like you said, something new with the 360 or with the drones. I think that's, you guys got to keep upping your ante as technology is putting more in the hands of the average person.
Yeah.
It's challenging you guys to do that much more. So
it is.
We're gonna. I think we could probably talk about this all night, because this is some good stuff, and you guys have some good things to share. But I do have to cut it. We're gonna go ahead and at least jump to our final break. Listeners can hear Brady's Storm School. The rest of you can refill your drinks, and we come back. It's gonna be time for our Weather Fools and WX resources. And those of you watching on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV, thanks for tuning in. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m. And don't miss our new show on July 27th with your Oklahoma TV legend, Gary England. We will see you next week.
Freaks Podcast.
Yeah, so I got the audio at the end. Whoops,
right at the end. Woo! We got the cheering. That's all.
I got to see it.
Cool.
Post-production.
Yeah.
We take that crap out for the podcast anyways.
Yeah. Nice.
So cool. Hey guys, thank you. You were outstanding.
Awesome.
We will definitely have to
great.
do this again, because there's more discussion that I want to keep having there.
We'd love to.
Yeah, you guys are fun.
We'll have to talk about there.
That was a lot of fun.
So here's what I'll do. I'll follow up with you guys over the weekend or Monday or something. So what we'll do is the video that this whole video, the whole show. So we still got one more segment coming up, but you guys don't need to stick around for that. We will this will always be on YouTube, but we'll edit, as you guys know, we'll edit the audio portion, and we usually upload that, so it'll be on iTunes and Google Play and all that stuff, probably Sunday-ish.
Okay.
Is usually when that's up. So I will make sure you guys are aware of that, and I'll follow up with you guys on a couple other things too. But
Awesome.
yeah, you guys were
good.
great, man. I hope you had a good time, because we
We had
did.
a great
That was
time.
fun.
Yeah, we did.
We could do that for hours and hours. That was
Yes.
just good to talk chasing, man. Just
Yeah,
good
but then we'd have to charge you. And,
Hey, we did just talk about what that would look like for us. So.
Well, maybe that's the future, right?
Right.
Maybe that's the
That's
future.
right.
Yeah, you guys can have a speaking circuit. Just kind of go around. You get paid to speak about chasing
that's
and all
right.
that.
That's right.
The dream
Yeah,
job.
yeah. We'll be paying you guys. That's really kind
That's
of
what's
how it goes. We'll have to go to all of our partners and sponsors and ask for more money to get you guys to come on next time.
That works.
But we'll do it because you're awesome. We'll do it.
Man, thank you guys so
So, all
much.
right. Well, you guys have a
Appreciate
great,
it, guys.
great night. Thanks so much. We look forward to putting this all together and putting it up.
Man, appreciate it, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
All right. Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right. Y'all take care.
Take care. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right.
That was
Cool.
fun.
Those are good guys. Let's do this. Those of you still watching, hope you guys are getting a drink, joining us. Thanks for sticking around. So we got Weather Fools, MJ. So you'll just count yourself in
Yep.
and introduce Weather Fools. I've got one.
Okay. Maz, do you have one?
I actually forgot. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's
Oh
all right.
God,
I know,
we
right?
got 3 people, and Maz didn't pull up one tonight.
Thank
Again.
God I did.
Yeah, really. All right, and then when we're done, MJ, just reference stormfrontfreaks.com and episode 31 show notes, all that jazz. And then
Who's got
turn
a
it over to
resource?
Maz. And then Maz, you'll do weather resources, and I have one of those.
Okay. MJ, you got one?
I do as well.
Awesome.
Do you?
So I'll do MJ for. Of course not.
I said my email. I said get your
I know.
weather fools and resources ready because we need
Listen,
it.
you were on
Right.
10 seconds before we started. Okay.
This
No
is-
lip.
Hey, but I was on. I showed up, man. That's all I have
That's
to
true.
say. I did show up.
So you guys will go Phil MJ, and then I'll do MJ Phil.
Okay.
That way, Phil, you can close it out and stuff.
correct.
Okay,
Cool.
that works. Yeah, and then I'll do. Maz, do you want to close it out and just say, hey, find all these resources on go to our website, stormfrontfreaks.com, look at episode 31, and you will find the show notes, as well as if you look at all of our episodes are on our website. All of our show notes are also there.
Okay.
And then if you want, then turn it
Back to you.
turn it back to me, and then I'll introduce MJ to hit our listener questions and responses.
Cool.
And then MJ, did you get the note on who won the Twitter contest?
I did.
Okay.
ML. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say it yet because some people.
Oh, don't, just in case they're
Please.
watching. You never
Yes.
know. Let's not
Whoops.
pop that.
I stopped. I stopped.
Okay. All right. So if we're ready, MJ, you can take it.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I got to get ready here first to share the screen.
Yeah, I better too. Hold on. Let me pull up my. It's funny because this is going to be, this is both. The funny thing is, I didn't realize this until I just was putting this together. Both my weather resource and weather fool are Michael Binsky.
Oh, really?
Wow, there goes that
Yeah.
case of beer.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, so much for that.
So yeah, he happens to be in. He's both. Yeah, he's going to be my kind of tongue-in-cheek weather fool. But he's also a part of the weather resource I have, which is just
All right.
worked out that way. It's kind of fun. So Michael
All right.
Binsky night.
I'm ready. You ready?
Yep.
I'll count myself in.
I'm going to share my screen now then, since we're.
Well, no, I'm first. Oh, yeah, I suppose you can do that. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back, everyone. It's time for our Weather Fools segment. That's where we show some foolish behaviors that are associated in some way with the weather. What do you got for us today, Phil?
Well, so this happens to be apparently Mike Olbinski night. We happened to have him on earlier. I don't remember what episode that was, but we've actually had him on a couple times because he was on one of our early bonus shows talking about weather photography, things of that nature. So Mike, kind of tongue-in-cheek on this one as being my weather fool. If you go to Twitter and go to his account at Mike Olbinski, He had a video. He said, monster intercept just now, dominating. And I'm going to show this video, and it's basically he intercepts this vortex, and he's not in a car. He's standing there.
Uh-oh.
And here comes this twirly-whirly right at him. He doesn't move. He doesn't jump to his car.
No.
The sucker goes right over him, right through him, literally. Now, the truth is the video is of a dust devil.
Right.
Not a tornado. It is a vortex, but it is not a tornado. But that was my tongue-in-cheek weather fool. Because if someone, I always make fun of the people that like go into the tornadoes and call them, you're the weather fool for actually doing that. He's my tongue-in-cheek weather fool because he went right into a vortex/dust devil.
However, cool though, right?
It is pretty cool. I would say that. Yeah, I'd agree. It was kind of cool. I can imagine when he was done, he's like,
yeah, no kidding.
all that stuff.
So, all right. Well, very good.
Glasses.
Very good. Thank you, Phil. I've got one, and I think hopefully everybody can see that here. And this is
I already know we have
weather fails compilation from 2016, and it's 10 minutes worth of stuff. And of course, I'm not going to show all of that, but I will show you how it starts off because it's pretty funny how it starts off. Watch. Okay, wave, fish.
in the face.
Right.
We see. I think Dina did pull that one out at one point.
Oh, did she really?
I think she might have because I remember that fish in the face. But you can keep playing it.
What
else is happening?
I won't. There's a whole lot more. This guy tries to surf on a semi-flooded. Here, I'll play a little bit more of it. This guy tries to surf on a semi-flooded and does a flop. Tries it again, but it still doesn't work. And there goes the garbage pail. And this guy is going to have some fun.
Oh man,
He's got snow, trying to get snow off his roof. There he goes. He goes with the snow.
Yeah, and it just keeps
That's
going.
Good, man.
You
got 10 minutes of your life. You just don't feel like doing
funny.
Anything special. That's how you spend it, right there. Weather fails.
That is exactly it. So that's our weather fools. Check out stormfrontfreaks.com. Look at the episode 31 show notes, and you'll see all the links for that. Maz, you got weather resources?
Awesome. Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Weather resources. And actually, you know what? Because I was not familiar with pivotalweather.com, so I'm going to have to look that one up later after the show. But I'm like, that had I had one, that probably would have been it. But I'm just saying.
You're stealing our tornado trackers weather resource.
That's exactly right.
Hey, as long as you give them credit, right? Credit to the tornado tracker. Who gives a crap?
You give them credit, right? Exactly.
That's right. So everybody else does.
But MJ, you actually have one tonight, right?
I actually did pick one. Yep. And so here is it's from MetEd. MetEd has a whole bunch of different sort of courses for weather enthusiasts and things like that. Some of them, I don't know quality wise how good all of them are, but I know that they have a couple of them for Skywarn spotter training. And I just wanted to, because those get a lot of good feedback from them. I don't know all their other classes and things, but they have, and I get that in show. They've got a couple of courses, Role of the Skywarn Spotter and Skywarn Spotter Convective Basics. And there are some National Weather Service offices that allow this to count as training to get your certification to be a spotter. Others, you still have to do the National Weather Service thing, which I always recommend anyway. But it's another thing that you can go to, or another source that you can go to for some additional training. And so I thought I'd point that out because it's pretty good. They've got a couple of pretty good courses there.
I got to admit, you know what? There is a lot of real cool education on the internet. It's
There
not,
is. I agree.
it's not just fuzzy kittens for Brady anymore.
Exactly.
All
Flipping
right,
kitten.
go ahead, Phil Pot.
Yeah, I love that. I love the meted.ucar, I think,
Yeah,
.edu. Is that what it is?
Given that it's meted.ucar.edu, correct?
Yeah, because as you said, I really love that. There's so much there, and I've just gone through some of it. They have all kinds of weather courses. So we were talking with the tornado trackers about where they've learned, and that is one outstanding resource as well. I agree. All right, so my weather resource, last episode, I talked a little bit about a WizKids.com that had some opportunities if you have kids to teach them about weather. And I'm going to looked up another one that I found on PBS. So it's pbs.org. It's a long URL. I'm not going to share that because it's long, but we'll put that in our show notes. But PBS has a number of different teaching options as well. And this particular one is a Student Reporting Lab's STEM lesson plan for storm chasing reveals clues to our weather future. So they say this is for grades 7 through 12. They talk a little bit about what it teaches. But as you go through this, it gives you what materials you should have available. It's a basic syllabus on what to have available, what to teach. There's some videos you can show, and this is what's funny, is if you pull up the Storm Chaser video,
there he is.
It is Michael Binsky talking about storm chasing. So this is great. He's getting a lot of deserved credit now. I saw he was on the Weather Channel. I think the program is Weather Geeks or something like that. But I saw he was on that program, and he deserves that. He's well-deserved recognition he's getting. Anyway, lots of great stuff. So if you have anybody or if you yourself are in the grade 7 through 12 area, there's some cool lesson plans here of what to do. You can give kids, or I shouldn't call these kids, but these young adults, it gives them opportunities to learn also about climate and how is climate and the climate change affecting potential storms in our Earth. So lots of great things at pbs.org.
Awesome. Very cool. I love the Infinity Scape too. Very nice.
Yes.
And of course, if you missed any of those links, you can go to stormfrontfreaks.com, episode 31. That's this one. Of course, every episode has the links from those episodes. And you can check out our show notes, and it has all the links in case you happen to miss it, or the kids are running through, or you spilled your beer on your computer, something like that.
Yes.
Damn.
Phil.
Hate when that happens.
All right. So, hey, let's jump to any listener questions or responses, MJ.
Well, we had a lot of good Twitter chat going on about our show. Some people retweeting some things and so on. We really appreciate that. Denise Palmer said, "Great podcast, enjoy." At Weather Pyro, Kyle says, "Oh yeah, nerdy storm chasing and weather chat."
Weather Pyro. Whoa.
Yes, yeah. At
Interesting.
Weather Pyro.
Always be nice to him.
At
Yes.
Max29 retweeted something. Stan says, "If you are a true weather geek like myself, you should give this a listen. Remind me why I loved at Jim Cantori from the beginning." So he enjoyed our show. And by the way, if you missed the last show with Jim Cantori, must listen. You got to go back and hear that.
Very cool.
At JacksJags095, Mike says, "Great podcast. First time listener. Keep up the great work." So welcome, Mike. Thanks for listening to us.
I'm glad he's going to listen again, I hope, based
It's
on
probably related to Michael Binsky, right?
He could be. And by the way, Phil, nice recovery from having it.
Weather Fool.
So, and we have, you want me to announce the winner?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
We had our Weather Pro Shop contest, and we had a great response this time. And we're giving away a weatherproshop.com t-shirt that Phil in the lower part of your screen is showing right now, as well as some materials, some of their new materials. And so ML Westmoreland, known as at Sooner Chick 28.
Sooner Chick. Nice.
Right.
I like it.
So ML Westmoreland, you are our winner. Thanks for listening. Please enjoy the t-shirt. and the materials from our good friends at weatherproshops.com.
It's probably Melissa, right? ML.
Could be.
It's Weather Pro Shop.
Weatherproshop.com.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
WX
Okay.
Pro Shop. All right. So cool. Yeah. So, hey, I'll reach out. We'll contact her and get her that stuff. So thanks to all of you that participated in that. And I think that about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast and Stormfront Freaks Raw. So thanks for listening and watching. Please take the time to leave us a review and subscribe to the show so you get the latest content. Special thanks go out to our guests, the Tornado Trackers, Jeff, Jeremy, and Gabe, our newlywed participants. They were good. And our next episode in 2 weeks, recording live on July 27th, will be with the Oklahoma TV weather legend, Gary England. And I'm sure we'll be discussing the Gary England drinking game. I'd have to imagine that's going to come up because there is one.
Can we play?
I don't know. Yeah, we should. We should probably send that out to everybody prior to the show. And we'll see how he uses that. So go to stormfrontfreaks.com or our YouTube channel if you would like to watch it live. So for MJ and Maz, there's just 3 of us tonight.
That's it.
It's kind of lonely. I will be signaling the all clear, and we will catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Oh, man. It's like,
where are the women?
It's quiet. Yeah, it is quiet, man. We don't have Brady playing
say
his
that with the pastor on.
recorder.
Where's the girls? Where's the women?
Where the women? How much for the little girls?